So during this period, also, Ted, there's another notable thing that happened here. Eddie Gilbert is going to pass away. Eddie himself was the son of Memphis wrestling legend Tommy Gilbert, and he's remembered as one of the greatest minds in wrestling history. Everybody pretty much unanimously says Eddie Gilbert was a wrestling genius. Great booker, great wrestler. I have no idea if you've ever crossed paths with Eddie. Did you ever work with him, or
Oh
were you?
yeah. Listen, I worked with his dad.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, when Tommy Gilbert came to Amarillo, the territory, that's when I met him, and Tommy was a great worker. And of course, then I watched Eddie grow up and blossom, and become what he became. And I have world of respect for both those guys.
Man, it's awful, and it was a heart failure, and due to drug use, drug addiction, is what took Eddie Gilbert.
Yeah.
And at the time, Oh, go ahead.
So, yeah, and again, I had forgotten that till you just said it, but that was the one. I mean, when I heard that he had passed before I knew anything else, they said, somebody said, Ted, Eddie Gilbert passed away. The first thing that came to my mind was, I wonder if it was an overdose.
Which a shame that's where your head goes, but it's these guys develop reputations, and Eddie's
Yeah,
one of those guys who had that reputation. He liked to
yeah,
party and have fun. And
yeah.
like, I don't know, man, such a great mind and such a good worker. It's like, boy, what could Eddie Gilbert have done if he had stayed clean? Like, I think he would have ended up in the WWF for a long period of time and had a lot of success.
That's and as a person, you got to know you got to know what your capabilities are and what they're not. I was never a booker. In other words, I was never going to be the guy who lined everything up, saying, "Oh, and okay, this is where we're going. We're going to start here. This is the end result," and then they work backwards from there.
Hmm.
Like the programs between wrestlers. I mean, it's like, or like the program in a TV series. It's kind of like, okay, where are we going, and let's work back from there. And so, I mean, that was never my strength. I was never going to be a booker. I think Bill, Bill admired my work so much that he thought he could make a booker out of me. And I said, Bill, it ain't me. I said, you know what? I'm not that guy.
Not everybody's brain worked that way, but I mean, Eddie Gilbert's did. He was a great booker, great mind in
Well,
wrestling.
well, yeah. And here's the other thing is you got to like it. My attitude was wrestling has been consuming enough to my life that I'm not going to give it anymore. I'll wrestle, and I'll listen to your presentation as to what you want to do with me, and I will give you my opinion. And and when we work something out, but to wrestle and then have to book, and 'cause you're constantly thinking about everybody on the card.
Hmm.
What am I going to do with this guy? How can we that what? Too much. Just too much. I was going to let. I didn't. It's kind of like I didn't want to go home. I'm gone enough from home that when I go home, I don't want to bring it home with me.
And honestly, I think that's kind of what maybe happens to guys like Eddie Gilbert and other guys in the same position, where it's like it becomes so much your life, you become so entrenched in it that
Yeah.
it's like it kind of overtakes you. And I think that the wrestling culture did that with.
What's your wife's name? Wrestling.